There are various options available to a manager when they need to change the scheduled rate for a unit. To change the scheduled rate for any existing unit, we'll need to go to Tools, and then Raise or Lower Rents. This menu will allow us to change rents quickly and easily. Each option performs a specific function, which I will cover briefly. The first option is to raise or lower the rent for an individual unit. This is to be used when you have one specific unit number for which you need to change the scheduled rate. This option does not have any dependencies as far as whether or not the unit is vacant or occupied. The second option is to raise or lower the rent for all units of a type. Keep in mind that if you use this button, it will raise and lower the rent for all units, including occupied units, for that specific type. The third option is to raise or lower the scheduled rent for a type, but not existing tenants. This is the option that most facilities will use when they want to change the scheduled rate for a unit size, but don't want to affect the rate that their existing tenants are paying. This will update the scheduled rate for all vacant units. Occupied units will pay whichever rate that they are currently set to, and when a tenant vacates, the system will then automatically change the rate to the new rate. The fourth option is to raise or lower the scheduled rent for all types by a percentage but not existing tenants. This is similar to the button that we covered before, however it raises the rents by a percentage rather than a dollar amount. Another option is to return all discounted units of a type to their scheduled rent. So if we had moved a tenant in with a discount, this would reset everybody back to their scheduled rate. And the last option returns every discounted unit to the scheduled rent regardless of type. So while this option here is type dependent, for example, you could change all 10 by 20 storage units back to their scheduled rent, the final option is to return all discounted units to their scheduled rent. Whenever one of these options is selected, the prompts may be different depending on the option selected. In this case, I've selected to raise or lower the rents for all units of type ID 1. I can raise the rent by a dollar amount or by a percentage as I choose. I can set a date for which the rent raise is going to take effect. And I do have a notifier that lets me know that existing tenants will be raised on the first anniversary of their pay-to date occurring after this date. I can also choose to print rent raise letters, which may or may not be legally required by your state. Once you have made the appropriate change, you can click OK, and those changes should take effect on the units according to the options that you selected.